Hey there, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Happy Saturday, crypto friends. How we doing out there? We are live. Studio A. I'll kind of break up the normal routine here and start out to show you something that I've observed I think is pretty important, especially in this volatile environment over the past few days. You will notice I'm looking here at BTC.D, which is the indicator for Bitcoin dominance as compared to the total crypto market cap. And as you can see here on the chart, we keep incrementally climbing up and up and up and up, and without the price going up along with it. So basically what that means is there is accumulation occurring in the over-the-counter market. Yes, if you I forget what the minimum amount is, but it's quite a significant sum. But you are allowed to purchase, even CoinBase does it. You can purchase over the counter without going through the exchange, significant sums of BTC and some of the other ones as well. It's not just limited to Bitcoin. And not really, I'll show you at the end of this stream, Ethereum as well, but it's pretty much Bitcoin at the moment. So without that said, commercial is over. Oh, and before we get started, one more thing. I did add, I'm hoping it shows up over there for some reason. It's down in the description. In the description, there is a referral link to crypto.com. And some of the new names that I've added to the watch list will require you to purchase that through crypto.com because they're still available to get through Binance and CoinBase, but it's a little tricky. You can use Uniswap or MetaMask, and I plan to do some videos on that. We want to be the early birds to some of these things. For example, SOL-USD Solana is going to be listed on CoinBase, I think, within the next week or so. So usually there's a big spike in price. So we wanted to be ahead of the news on that one and be selling into strength once they launch that on Coinbase. So kind of wanted to give folks an idea of how to get into some of these other names. KISHU is another one's being launched over the weekend. They have a big, massive marketing campaign. So without further ado, let's have a look at some of the names here on the watch list. First, we are looking here at BTC USD. As we indicated, you can see some accumulation. We're just kind of going sideways. We had a pretty good drop down to support at 35,515.88. Support held, so now we have a double bottom to lean back on. So you'll see the technical traders tend to take that seriously. In fact, we could inch that support up to now include 36,521.68. And we're still going to have a little struggle getting above that 12-day moving average. That's that red line indicating like a downturn. So look for some volume to come in there as technical traders start to lean back on these support levels. We have 1, 2, 3 levels. This is a triple bottom actually. So with that said, let's move on to Ethereum, ETH, USD. Ethereum, we have support 2296.08. This was remained. I haven't moved anything since the crypto happy hour last night, so I started to want to do that so people can kind of get an idea of where we have come from. So we're looking at support 2296.08, new resistance level. We'll move that down to that previous high there at 2479.42. Let's move on to BNB, Binance Coin. BNB USD. We've got new support. We can inch that up just a tad. There we go. 309.02 and very tight resistance if you want to include that hammer right over there. This is a high. Hammer candle, 327.507 is resistance. We're just coming up above the RSI oversold. So we're in good shape for a bounce. We just need some volume and the bulls to step up to the plate and move us forward. Let's move on to ADA USD Cardano. Cardano, we have a new support levels to lean on there. Pretty much a double bottom. We have these two wicks intersecting with the body of that candle. So 1.4810 is your support to watch for. So look for us to hold there. And then new resistance, trying to punch through right there at the 1.5812. So very, very tight range as we try to get some resolution and clarity moving forward for ADA USD. Let's move on to PolkaDot, DOT USD. Relatively unchanged. So 21.832 still is your support and 24.26 is your resistance. So like I said, these are very strong indicators of accumulation. When you see this sideways, it's either consolidation or accumulation. Some kind of Asian going on there. So let's move on to the Doge. Let's see, we did hold up just barely. We have that support level 0.3398 and resistance remains to be seen down here now at the 0.3650 for the Doge. We are trying to set a higher low here, so keep eye out for that. And we do have the 12, 26, and 100 day to encounter on the climb back through. Very lightly traded. And let's move on to LTC USD Litecoin. Let's see, yeah, pretty much unchanged. We have 171.78 support and resistance. You could argue that it's right there at the right there on that wick of that candle. There, very tight, 182.01. Resistance. Very same scenario here, low volume, just above the RSI oversold. And I think the China market's kind of gone stealth on us. I did indicate that in the description of this video, that they're kind of laying low, some of the hodlers over there, until the China FUD blows through again. And let's move on to LINK USD. Still holding that support level 23.955 and resistance 26. Nope, check that, 25.8850. So we lost a little bit of that resistance there. Couldn't punch through. And again, volume light for LINK. Let's have a look at Stellar XLM USD. Stellar showing a little sign of weakness over the other similar coins there. So we're down to 0.3676 support and resistance all the way back down to the 0.426837. As we have these two moving averages converging on us, going to put a lot of pressure to the downside. So let's move on to VET USD Vechain. 1, 2 levels of support, almost 3. So good strong support there to 0.10091. Resistance at the 0.11125, unchanged. As we move on to FIL USD. Support remains at the 69.905 and resistance, you have a slightly more resistance to consider now at the 76.67 for Filecoin. Moving on to Storj, STORJ USD. 1.0295 is your support and resistance remains to be seen. So we got a little anxious there, but there we go. 1.09, so very, very tight range here. Getting ready for an explosion one side or the other when these things starting to tighten up like that. So basically, the bulls and the bears are starting to agree on price. So somebody's going to go broken arrow, and we're going to go one direction or the other. So let's move on to IOTA, Internet of Things. let's see, are we on that? We're right on the support, testing that support level as we speak. So we're at 1.0455 for your support, and then resistance is going to be down in this tightening range at the 1.115 for IOTA, and a little bit stronger volume on this name here than the others. So let's move on to comp, CONP USD. Comp lost a little bit more ground, so now we're down to the, here we are, 374.2249. And resistance, my computer's starting to lag, that's not a good sign. 429.74 for COMP USD. Moving on to BAT USD, basic attention coin. Come on, let's go, computer, you got this. We're still here. Sorry about this, folks. There we go. Starting to be a little concerned about lagging computer here. BAT support 0.6534, and resistance is going to be right there at the 0.7507 for BAT USD. Let's move on to Ethereum Classic, ETC USD. Maintain that ground, so we're going to hold support at 58.627. Resistance remains 63.310. Moving on to MANA, MANA USD. Lost of support, so we're down to previous low right there at the 0.749657. And resistance, very tight range, 0.795163. Moving on to ZIL, ZIL USD. So we're holding support right on, we're testing that level right now as we speak, 0.10957, and resistance tightening up there, down there, way down there at the 0.11572. Volume spike, but you can see the candles are very small. So just saying. Just saying. NU USD. Lost some ground for NU. We are down to 0.28347. Support and resistance is up right up there at that 12-day moving average. So we had a 1, 2, 3 times the lady test, so maybe 4 times the charm for resistance up at the 0.3207. Let's move on to NMR USD. Hello? I think we're back. Sorry about that, folks. Yep, we are live again. So we're back to NMR USD, support level 35.318, resistance at the 43. Nope, check that. 38.71. Let's move on to GRT USD, graph token. Support 0.75722. And a little tighter range on the resistance. That's all we're going to move from last night at the 0.852. Let's have a look at Uniswap, UNI USD. Down a mere 6.88% for the day. So Uniswap, we lost some ground. Going to be holding that support at the 20.11, and then your resistance is going to be 24 down to 22.0472. So up from 24 down to 22. Let's move on to AAVE USD. Starting to get that lag again, so that's not cool. Goodness, goodness. Hello? If you're out there and you can still hear me, Hello? I apologize about the in and outs here of, I have no idea what's going on today, but we'll try to get through here. And Savage Rep, thanks for the kudos over there in the chat. Yeah, I'll get to your ticker here in just a few. HCKER, is that your, okay. Just 1 second. Let's see if we can get through the rest here. So look at that support down there, 327.970. And 362.149 is your resistance. Moving on to MKR USD. Lost some ground here as well. And we're looking down for support to hold at the 2697.277 and resistance 2998.189. Moving on to Matic, a new addition to our watch list. We're starting to track this bad boy. And waiting for an opportunity to get in here. We are sitting right on this 100-day moving average, so it is looking pretty sweet if we can hold up here and close up on that 100-day, which is the big yellow line you see on the bottom. Hello? No idea what's causing this lag. We are not getting anywhere today. Okay, here we go. We have resistance at the 1 point. Wait for that to move out of the way. 1.421. We'll move on to SOL USD, another new addition. If we can squeeze this one out of here, I'm going to go ahead and get yours in there, Savage Rep, because I may have to abort here. All right. Hello? If you can hear me out there, if you could give me a 1 in the chat. I know there's several people out here on the YouTube stream. As you know, I'm streaming Twitch and tons of other ones, multicasting here, so just don't want to leave nobody hanging. And we are having difficulties here. So looking at SOL USD, support there at the 34.6782 and resistance at the 40.3030. Let's move on quickly to audio if we can. There we go. NFTs going to sleep on us here. So we're looking at support 1.071 and resistance moved down to the 1.209. We'll move on to CHZ USD. We have support at the new level 0.238 and resistance at the 0.269. So we're starting to lag again, so we're about to crash. So I'm going to get this one more in here, then I'm going to go to the request. If we can even do that. Hello? We're having a look here at Theta, THETA USD. Hello? Folks, I do believe we are back. I'm going to continue to try. I do have a request for HCKER, so let's do that one for you before we get messed up here again. So HCKER. Not seeing that one. HCK. CKR maybe? No. Let's see if we could find that one for you here on CoinGecko or somewhere. CoinGecko. Savage Rep, I do not see that ticker. If you could double check that for me, I'll do some research and see if I can find it, but I'm not able to. Maybe it's HKER. HKER? Or hacker. No. Okay. Last try here, folks. I'm going to have to wrap it up because I'm having some serious issues here with OBS. And Savage Rep, sorry I could not find HCKER if that is a ticker. If you could give me more clarity on that, I'll be happy to get that for you. If you're still out there, you're probably gone by now. Don't blame you. We pretty much got through everything. I'll look at one last time. We'll look at BTC.D, Bitcoin Dominance. As I mentioned, accumulation is in play, so we're increasing up to 45.77. At one point, you can see we're all the way down to like 30, 39. So accumulation is in place, but the price doesn't move because it's coming from over-the-counter transactions. We'll look at ETH real quick, if we can. Ethereum, ETH.D. We're about to lose you. So if I lose you here, we're done for the day. I'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central Daylight Time.